Welcome, everyone. I am Lisa Snyder, and Dee and I kind of switch off on weekends. So Dee's class is Yin. I have done restorative, and we thought maybe we'll try doing a combination class this weekend. So it's a little Yin, it's a little restorative, so you have lots of options depending on how you feel. And you might have an injury or something that might change what pose you want to have. So we're going to start in just a seated meditation. You might want to take a bolster and put it under your sit bones or a towel just to make it a little more comfortable. Sit up nice and tall. Let your head float above your shoulders. And close your eyes or just have a soft gaze. Start to notice your breath. As it travels down, soften your belly on your inhales. And on your exhale, maybe even pull your belly in just a little bit. Do that 2 more times. Nice deep breath in all the way to your lower belly. And a long breath out. Long breath in. Breath out. Find a natural flow of breath without forcing, without anticipating. And bring your awareness to the crown of your head. You might even notice each individual hair follicle. Travel down through your forehead. Soften through your eyes. Notice your jaw. If you're holding any tension, just try to soften. Move down in through your throat and through your shoulders. It's here where you start to feel the pull of gravity, bringing you closer, holding you. Pause in your heart space and notice if there's a message here for you today, an emotion. Acknowledge. Treat it with kindness. And come back into your breath, into your body, as you float down into your core. Notice the front of your body and the back of your body and everything in between. Feel your sit bones, your legs, your arms as they rest. Move out to your fingertips and the tips of your toes. Add a gentle movement to your fingers, your toes. And slowly open your eyes. Our first pose today will be a heart opener. You'll take blocks, or you can use a bolster under your back. The blocks will be either with one block flat and one block a little higher. Actually, with this block long, so it'll be in between your shoulder blades. And as you lay down, the other block will support the base of your spine so that your chin comes introspectively towards your chest. Your arms can lay down close to your body, or you can bring them a little bit further out, closer to a T. And just notice how that feels and soften and melt around your block. Bring the soles of your feet together if you'd like to open up through into a butterfly pose. As you land on your mat, find your breath. Just be conscious and here. Allow your body to settle in. As I prepared for this class this week, I opened up Journey to the Heart to April 25th. And I come upon a prayer that I actually said this week when I was in the middle of a difficult task. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And here she says, people have many ways of seeking and finding peace. Mantras, chants, or prayers that align the mind with peaceful thoughts, with the river of peace that runs through our universe, are one way of returning to our center. Do you have a favorite prayer, a religious chant, or a saying, or a mantra that helps you, that puts you back on track? That takes your mind to that place of peace within your soul? Value the mantras that touch and heal your mind, the sounds and thoughts that align you with peace. Find and value the words and prayers of your religion, the thoughts that work for you, that connect you to your center. These will help you discover your connection with the universe, the flow of life, the certainty that all is well. You and your life are on track. You'll be given all the guidance and the grace you need. Find rituals that help you believe that peace is yours. Rituals that connect you to the divine in the universe. Ask for peace. Ask in a way that works for you. If you find that your mind has started to wander, bring yourself back Breathe in and notice, I'm aware of my in-breath. Perhaps you find a mantra. Take a few more moments in this pose. Bring some gentle awareness to your forehead, to your jaw, to your heart space, into your core. Move out through your shoulders and your arms, your fingertips, down through your legs to the tip of your toes. Breathe in deeply. Empty all the way out. To start moving out of this pose, you want to move slower than you think you need to extend your legs, and to slowly, slowly roll to your side and remove the blocks. And once you have them out of your way, gently roll back onto your back. And allow that energy, that openness in your heart, and that compression you had in the back of your spine settle into the mat. Our next pose is banana pose, or if you'd like to stay in a restorative pose, you can stay right where you are, maybe add a bolster under your knees. For banana, you're going to take your right foot over to the right corner of your mat and bring your left ankle on top of your right, and then start to bring the right side of your body, your arms overhead, and take a hold of your left wrist. You should feel a nice stretch through your side body. And when you breathe in, imagine that breath opening up that side body a little more. and settle into the pose. Start to really notice gravity's pull as your body rests and sinks a little deeper into the mat. Surrender here to gravity. Allow it to support you. Let any thoughts or emotions exit into the universe, set aside for another moment. Take a nice deep breath in. Slowly empty out. Start to uncross your ankles. Gently move your legs over to the left side of the mat. Cross your right ankle on top of the left. And then bring the top side of your body rounded out towards the left side. This time your left hand will reach your right wrist in any version that's comfortable for you. Allow gravity to pull you in as you find stillness and start to open up a little more through your side body. Be aware of your in-breath, aware of the out-breath. Settle in and surrender. Take one or two deeper breaths into that side body. Gently uncross your ankles. Release your arms. Gently bring them to your side. Receive the pose. Let the energy that you've released out of the inside of that banana release and flow. We're going to add a little twist now that we've opened up through our side body. If you'd like to try twisted roots, that's a yin pose where you're on your back. You cross your right leg over your left and then drop your knees out over to the left. Keep your shoulders on the ground. You might want support under your head. Just see how it feels. If this is too much today, you can try a restorative version and untwist your legs and bring a bolster in between your knees. Again, they're resting one on top of the other, but you have a slight twist. And your arms either out to a T or on your belly, or if you'd like to, reach them up overhead and grab opposite elbows for a little bit more opening through your chest. And you can do that in either pose. On your next inhale, imagine that breath traveling down the right side of your spine, all the way to the base. The exhale travels up the left side and out. It might even be a visual of a bright shining light that lights up through your spine. A light that you share into the universe on your exhale. If you notice any tension that's entered your jaw or your abdomen or your lower back, soften surrender into the mat. Follow your breath for 2 more rounds. With each breath, you deepen and soften. And as you come out of the pose, slower than you think you need to, bring your knees to center. Gently windshield wiper your knees side to side. Just a couple of times or more to release, to let that energy flow. And when you're ready, cross your left leg over your right and drop your knees down over towards the right. And adjust as you need to find that pose. Your arms might stay lower or they might go overhead. You might need a blanket in between your knees on this side or a bolster. This side might feel a little different. Just notice where there may be some tension that you didn't feel on the other side, and allow for that difference without judgment. Perhaps a block goes under your knees for a little support. And breathe in down your right spine. And exhale up through your left. And play with your breath. Listen for any stories, any emotions. Acknowledge and set them aside. Find that bright light of your breath and use it to land here in your practice. Come back and to begin again. take 2 or 3 more deep rounds of breath, whatever you need in this pose. And when you're ready, slowly come out. Bring the soles of your feet to the mat. Windshield wiper. Slowly and mindfully back and forth. Bring your knees to center and reach for a block or a bolster for a supported bridge pose. So the block can come either on the long flat side or a little bit higher, or you can use a softer bolster right under your sacrum. So you start from laying down, lift your hips up and bring that block or the bolster. See how it feels. And if you'd like to make an adjustment to higher or lower, arms long by your side, or again out to a T, or maybe overhead feels right for you in this moment. If you're using a bolster, make sure that it's comfortable. You should still have a tiny little bit of a lift. You might want to, whether you're on a bolster or a block, to try bringing your heels out wide to the corners of your mat to really open up through your psoas, the fronts of your thighs, and through that lower part of your core. And if you've brought your legs out wide and that starts to give you more discomfort, and you'd like to move them back in or switch to your bolster, just find your pose and settle here. Surrender. There's no effort in the pose. It's just a softening and a surrender. Melting down through your shoulders, creating space. I go among trees and sit still. All my stirring becomes quiet around me, like circles on water. My tasks lie in their places where I left them, asleep like cattle. Then what is afraid of me comes and lives a while in my sight. What it fears in me leaves me, and the fear of me leaves it. It sings and I hear its song. Then what I'm afraid of comes. I live for a while in its sight. What I fear in it leaves it, and the fear of it leaves me. It sings, and I hear its song. After days of labor, mute in my consternations, I hear my song at last, and I sing it. As we sing, the day turns, the trees move. Imagine you're walking in a forest, slowly, one step in front of the other. You feel the moss beneath your feet. You pause. Your gaze rises up to feel and see that gentle breeze going through the trees, the light dappling through from the sun. You feel the warmth of the sun and the coolness of the breeze in the shady forest. You smell the earth and the moss, the pine, the fragrance of spring flowers ready to bloom. You take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, you lay down on that forest floor, being supported by gravity, by the soft bed of moss supporting you. Take a few more breaths here, laying in this forest, hearing the birds sing. You start to bring awareness back into your body. Take a couple of deep breaths in, all the way to your lower belly, and back out. In restorative yoga, you always have a choice to stay as long as you'd like in any pose. So listen to your option before you move and decide if you'd like to move. Praying mantis is next. So your first move would be to gently roll to your side and to gently bring yourself up to your hands and knees. When you come to your hands and knees, you can imagine some cat-cows to slowly wake up your spine. For praying mantis, we're going to bring our elbows, forearms to the blocks. Hips stay over our knees as we sink down. Having a bolster under your forehead might provide some support. You might bring your hands to prayer. And those hands might move towards the back of your neck to increase that opening through your triceps. If you have any issues with your knees, you may want a blanket or a bolster under your knees. And settle in to your pose. Breathe nice and deep all the way to your belly. Empty all the way out as you settle in. Land here without resistance. And as you're here, just notice if the discomfort turns to pain, or you feel a lot of tingling, you may want to remove the blocks down to the floor. Let your arms go all the way to the floor. Just some options as you settle in. You can also move back into a child's pose if that is better for your knees, if you feel pain through your knees. In the intensity of this pose, you might want to take a few more, little bit deeper rounds of breath. And each exhale, soften any tension. And very gently start to bring your forearms all the way to the mat and settle back so that you feel that energy, that release through your shoulders. Maybe that looks like a child's pose to you, your arms long in front of you, or reaching back for your heels. Start to come forward onto your hands and knees. Bring a bolster, the big one, to the middle of your mat. And you might want the smaller bolster up towards the front or a block. We're going to move into a modified child's pose. But our feet, our knees, can be up front, or you can transition into a frog pose. So your letting the bolster support your weight. Your knees can be forward, or you can bring them back into a frog. The little support on your forehead, or a little higher with the block. You can even stack up 2 bolsters if that feels better. Soften through your shoulders, your abdomen, through your hips. Hello, sun in my face. Hello, you who make the morning and spread it over the fields and into the faces of the tulips and the nodding morning glories and into the windows of even the miserable and crotchety. Best preacher that ever was, dear star that just happens to be where you are in the universe, to keep us from ever darkness, to ease us with warm touching, to hold us in the great hands of light. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Watch now how I start the day in happiness, in kindness. Take a couple more nice deep breaths. Follow them all the way to the pit of your belly. And then follow them back up through your spine and all the way out. And when you're ready, Start to bring your legs a little closer together behind you. Allow a couple of breaths just to soften. Start to make your way out of your pose and come to a comfortable seat. Bring a small bolster or a blanket to have a seat. For shoelaces pose, with shoelaces, we're going to stack your knees, one on top of the other, like shoelaces. If this is not comfortable, you can lay on your back and your legs can be the same way, and you can use a strap. I think I saw a strap to pull them in towards your body. You just have the strap around the front and you can hold it back. If this is not comfortable, another variation is to straighten your lower leg for half shoelace. If it's in your practice to add a bend, a forward bend, you can bring that block out in front of you and settle in to your elbows or bring your forehead to the block. These props support our practice, allow us to sink in, to settle, to surrender. Let gravity support you. Scan back through your abdomen. Notice if you're holding tension. Gentle acknowledgement without judgment. And begin again with your breath. Take a couple more breaths here. On your next inhale, place your hands on the mat gently. Walk yourself back up to a seat. Start to release your legs out in front of you. Move your ankles or your feet in and out. Little gentle movement for your hips. And then move to the other side. Just honor the difference. Take any adjustments. Remember, leg forward, if that feels better. And let gravity do the work. Surrender into that softness, into the pull. Notice where you're holding any tension. Breathe in a few more rounds of breath and try to soften just a little deeper these final moments. And after your final exhale, start to slowly come back to a seat and unwind your legs. Stretch them out long, point and flex, rotate your ankles around. Bring the blocks to the top of your mat and set them up on a nice high setting, and bring your bolster on top. So they might need to be close enough together so that you have a little bridge here. Bring yourself onto your back so that the back of your knees rest on top of your bridge. Decide where you'd like your arms to go. They can be out wide, palms up to receive, or grounded on your belly. Bring your attention to your psoas, right at the hinge of your hips, and just relax. Take every bit of tension And let it leave your body on your exhales. I'm aware that I'm breathing in, aware that I'm breathing out. Let gravity support you. Open up and soften completely. You might notice tension in your fingers, your shoulders, your jaw. Land and soften. Begin again without judgment. I'm aware of my breath in. I'm aware of my breath out. If you'd like to stay here, you can stay or move into a waterfall. Bring one leg up toward the ceiling and then the other. Feel the weight of your sit bones against the mat. A slight bend in your knees. If you'd like to bring your arms up toward the ceiling, roll your ankles and your wrists, and then just let them soften. there is no controlling life. Try corralling a lightning bolt containing a tornado. Dam a stream and it will create a new channel. Resist and the tide will sweep you off your feet. Allow and grace will carry you to higher ground. The only safety lies in letting it all in, the wild and the weak, fear, fantasies, failures, and success. When loss rips off the doors of the heart, or sadness veils your vision with despair, practice becomes simply bearing the truth. In the choice to let go of your known way of being, the whole world is revealed to your new eyes. Slowly bring your arms back down to the mat, and your feet can come to your bolster again or remove it to move into your version of rest. If you'd like to lay on your side, you could even hug the bolster into your body. Just find total comfort, total rest. No tension. Just you and your breath. Take a nice deep breath in and sigh it out. Rest here and enjoy the stillness, the space that you've created. Start to bring some gentle movement to your fingers, your toes, your neck. And bring the soles of your feet to the mat. Slowly, slowly find your way to a seat. Just roll to your side, pause. Use your top arm to push yourself up to a comfortable seated position. And bring your hands to heart center. Let your thumb knuckles rise up to your forehead. Fan open your palms. May you be happy and at ease. May you be healthy. May you be loved and love others. The light in me honors the light in each of you, and together as a community, we bow forward. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. Take your time. You can leave any props that I lent you just here in the studio. I'll take care of them for you. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll open up this door for you.